Your host Danny, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, fills up your day. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. City so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your host Annie, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, fills up your day. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. City so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your host Andy, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, fills up your day. Good morning Frederick, rise and shine. A city so
Yes. Good morning, Frederick. Today is Tuesday, October 15th, and I'm your host, Danny Gurry. Oh, the week is rolling. The month is half over. It's hard to believe. Why? When we get to fall, it seems to just, we're sliding right into it. Today's show 139. Hard to believe. I don't think I've done many other things for 139 kind of straight days, but here we are for sure. All right, let's see what we got on the show today. It is packed, so we're going to roll right through it. We got our local news, weather, and sports with Bob Miller and Chris Michaels from WFMD's Morning News Express. We're going to talk about what's happening in Frederick. I got all the events for you. Also, we finish part 2 with Chris Haugh, our local historian and first ever two-parter. And then tech tips with Ashley from 34 Blast. We interview Laura Like. She's got gig work to get debt-free. She's debt-free. That's pretty cool. And Danielle Rizzo from the Marielle Agency is going to talk about how to change your priorities to be successful. I love it. And she's a Danielle Marie, and I'm a Danielle Marie. It's kind of funny. But my name is with 2 N's. Hers is with 1. There you go. All right, Christmas Cash for Kids. We're looking forward to seeing how October nets out the donation to Christmas Cash for Kids this year. We've got I know if you guys, I think I have one here. Yes, I do. We're going to get these. These are at the shop. These are adorable. These are our ornaments. And it's $10. You get the ornament plus a sticker. Oh, wouldn't that look great on your tree? I love it. Makes great gifts, little stocking stuffers for people. Maybe your, kids have moved away, or maybe somebody loves Frederick but doesn't live close. Well, you can send them that. And then they can keep Frederick close. Keep Frederick close in their hearts, which I love. All right. And so we have those. We've got beanies. We've got fleece for the cooler weather. We got our long sleeve tees. I had mine on yesterday. Love it. It's so soft. That is what it is all about. But when you buy the merch, local kids in Frederick will have a great Christmas thanks to you and Christmas Cash for Kids. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Ask a friend or two to subscribe. And at 1,500 subscribers, we're going to do another big giveaway. We gave away like 10 things at the 1,000 mark, which was a huge hurdle for us. But now we'd love to do another one at 1,500. And if you've just joined us, if you're a new subscriber, welcome. Welcome to the show. Thank you for stopping in. This show is all about Frederick, the people, the place, the events, the businesses, the nonprofits. It is about you, Frederick. All right. And don't forget about the podcast. If you're in the car, you just want to listen, you can find us on all the usual platforms. Just search Good Morning Frederick. All right. Let's get this Tuesday started. I want to thank our show sponsor. We help you move, no matter whether you're moving across the street or somewhere around the country. Nicholas and his team of moving experts make that process easier. And there is nothing that is easy about moving. I know it. But if you want to relieve some stress and know your stuff is being taken care of, Nicholas and his team will do that for you. We Help You Move is veteran owned, and they're a huge supporter of this Frederick community. WeHelpYouMove.com. All right, we got Chris and Bob coming up. Well, good morning. Oh, good morning, Frederick. Love that hat.
Good morning.
Whoa. He doesn't have a hat on.
It's a little shiny. Black. Wait, do I have
That's
sunglasses?
because I shaved my head. Okay, my hair doesn't look like like Larry from the Three Stooges today.
That's why some of us wore a hat. That's because, woo!
Well,
so I wore. Hey, by the way, Danny, I want to say something. My wife said this yesterday as she was making her coffee or something. She said she put it in the Everything Frederick cup. She says, I love this cup. Find out where Danny gets those. She wants me to make some. And I'm like, honey, no, I only get the other companies that make my cups for me.
Well, maybe my next iteration can have Chris and Bob on the back.
Maybe. Yeah.
Ooh.
That'd be cool. Those are nice cups. I like they got the little skid-proof thing at the bottom of it so they don't slide out from under you. Only
the best for Good Morning Frederick.
Right?
Yeah,
if it's Linda approved, you know it's good. I'm sorry.
You don't need those skid marks on the table that you get if it doesn't have that skid protection. By the way,
I know we're already talking about skid marks for God's sake.
Yeah,
by the way, just to FYI, if you do want to keep your coffee nice and hot, pictures of me and Bob would do that because, well, we're hot. Right, Bob? I'm 2 for 2. 2 for 2 right away.
You are, man. You are. Thank you. I mean, nothing like blindness. There's a show. Have you seen the new show with Zachary Quintos on it? I forget what it's called. It's a doctor show, and he has a disease that apparently is real. It's called face blindness. And so I think Chris has that. That you can't distinguish somebody's face.
Oh boy.
Right.
We got it. We got it all going. Absolutely. All right. How you guys doing? You doing all right?
I'm doing great. Had a day off yesterday, as you well know. Now, I'm going to tell something to your, I always want to say listeners, viewers. Well, I guess they're listeners too if they're listening on the podcast. The viewers, this Friday, I will not be on because I'm doing something I'd never done in my life. I am riding an actual horse, not the ones you put a quarter in, in front of a supermarket, an actual horse. And I am looking forward to that. We're going to Facebook it live. I can't promise you it'll be something that you're going to want to see, but yes.
Does the horse know this is happening?
I'm hoping they talk to the horse first. I'm thinking I'll probably have to introduce myself. That way the horse knows who I am. And this should be interesting video on our WFMD Facebook page. So,
right. So why are you riding a horse?
Why not?
To save a cowboy.
Yeah, to save a cowboy. Why not? I mean, listen, I'm going to have my nice cowboy hat, going to buy me some nice tight Wranglers. Hopefully they don't rip when I go on the horse. Uh, but I'm gonna do it big.
Horses can sense everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are afraid or you get nervous or you're messing around, boy, you just gotta hold on.
Well, messing around.
Bumbadita, happy trails to
To
you.
you.
It's a
Actually,
retired Clydesdale from Budweiser, so I think he'll be okay.
Ah,
The horse.
gotcha.
I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and in the background play what's that Glenn Campbell song? Like a rhinestone cowboy. I think that would be
Yeah.
I want to see you in those chaps.
perfect. Yes.
Just
Yes.
make sure
It's
you
gonna have a
have
back
pants
'em.
on. Make
Yeah.
sure you have pants on. We don't need those. Never mind.
Yeah,
The
riding
assless
village
chaps.
people.
There we go.
Yeah.
riding a massive, huge Clydesdale horse. Speaking of skid marks, there you go. Anyway, because it's gonna scare the you know what out of me.
Oh boy, they are gentle giants for sure.
Yes,
Clydesdales.
they are. Yes,
We
they
used
are.
to have a cross, a draft cross. Best horse ever.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Fun.
So we'll
All
have
right.
some fun.
Well, other than the skid marks, what else is happening in news?
Well, actually, not a whole lot, at least not here locally in our city.
Great.
But there was a few things. No injuries were reported from a building fire in Carroll County Monday afternoon. The Maryland State Fire Marshal says at around 2:03 p.m., firefighters were dispatched to Mercer Carpet, one at 26th West Main Street in Westminster for a structure fire. They spent 30 minutes bringing out the flames under control. Damage is estimated at $80,000. The fire marshal's office says the fire originated in an exterior wall, but the cause remains under investigation. A passerby discovered that fire. Hagerstown police arrested a man on Saturday evening for a stabbing. Kevin Leonard Quandera, 40 of Hagerstown, is charged with attempted first and second degree murder, first and second degree assault, and reckless endangerment. He's currently being held without bond. At around 6:45, officers responded to the 100 block of West Franklin Street for a stabbing. An officer in the area of North Prospect and Church Street saw a man chasing another man. The suspect had a knife and he was making slashing motions at the victim's neck. After the officer got out of his car, he told the suspect to drop the knife, but the suspect refused and said the police would have to, quote, kill him. The man ran away along the 100 block of North Jonathan Street. Officers used a taser on the suspect. He continued to struggle, but police say they were able to get him into custody. Authorities say the victim had 3 stab wounds on his upper back. And take a look at weather. Mix of clouds and sun during the morning will give way to cloudy skies this afternoon, high 58. Some clouds this evening will give way to clear skies overnight. Tomorrow, low 39, sunshine in the morning, followed by mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon, high 57, and a low of 37. This morning, it was freezing, Danny. It was cold. For first time this year, I wore my big, heavy Mets jacket. Speaking of Mets, Bob was going to talk about the Mets.
I am. They stopped the Dodgers' record-tying postseason scoreless streak. The Dodgers had a string of 33 consecutive scoreless innings before the Mets just opened a can of whoop on them. 7-3 victory on Monday, tying that championship series at a game apiece. The Mets had a 5-run second inning, which included a grand slam against Landon Knack. Now, the other New York team, the Yankees, had a 3-run third inning, and they defeated the Guardians by a score of 5-2 on Monday night, and their series opener that included Cleveland throwing 5 wild pitches and walking 9 batters. You don't want to do that. The other team in New York, the Jets, hey, they did a pretty good job with the Bills in town. Tyron Johnson picked off an Aaron Rodgers pass with just under 2 minutes remaining that preserved a Buffalo win over the Jets, 23-20. The Jets dropped their 3rd straight game, missed the chance to grab a share of first place in the AFC East. In field hockey yesterday, Catoctin over Thomas Johnson. Matty Myers scored a pair of goals. Urbana got a 2-0 win over Oakdale. They're 11-2 on the season and on the verge of clinching a spot in the Central Maryland conference large school championship game. In girls soccer yesterday, it was Brunswick over South Carroll. Alexa Damatotti had 2 goals to pace the Railroaders to that win. In girls flag football, Smithburg over Catoctin by a score of 20-6. Boys soccer yesterday saw Gerstell beat Catoctin by a score of 4-2. That's a look at sports.
Wow, there we go. Look at
Yeah.
you. Yeah, the Jets weren't too bad. I caught a little bit of the game. I mean, too bad they couldn't pull it out, but
Well, maybe the new coach.
I'm going to real quickly sum up the Jets game. Being a Jets fan, the Jets kicker, a bum. Aaron Rodgers, a bum. There you go.
Yeah,
well,
Aaron Rodgers. This is the you've stayed too long for your welcome, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Cowboys fan. We're just hiding our head in shame after what the Lions did to us. My goodness gracious.
Well, there's always Thanksgiving. Do you guys always play on Thanksgiving, don't you?
Yes, and yes they do. And they've won and they've lost. I don't have a good feeling about this Cowboys team whatsoever. I don't think they're going to be that good this year at all. I've already said I think the coach should go, the owner should go, half the team should go. I heard somebody say yesterday they need to find some men who want to play football. It just looks like nobody wanted to tackle anybody. It's like, you got to tackle somebody, for goodness sakes.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Well, we thank you guys for that update today. Have an awesome one, and I will see you in the morning.
Thank you, Danny.
All right. See ya. Oh, yeah. We want to thank Chris and Bob for joining us this morning. All right. Let's talk about what is happening in Frederick. We're going to get right to it. Happening in Frederick is sponsored by Taco Bar. It is Taco Tuesday. You get 20% off 3 tacos all day long. Taco Bar is in the West Point Plaza on Route 40, between 40 and alternate 40, kind of up near the top end of the Golden Mile. You can have steak, chicken, al pastor, carnitas, and fish tacos. There are vegan taco options as well if your diet goes that way. And if you're feeling adventurous, how about the beef tongue or small intestine tacos? You can try those out as well. More details at tacobar1.com, tacobar1.com. All right, let us pull up here we go. Lord have mercy. Here we go. All right. Now, I am not sure what is continuing with Pulling for Veterans. They just got back to Maryland, most of them about 3 a.m. After their run yesterday down to North Carolina. A deadhead, as we call it. You go down and you quick turn around and come back. But the warehouse where they unloaded, I believe it was over 10 trailers and a tractor trailer, was quite impressive. So it does look like hopefully these items are getting to the people who need them. I have been seeing more and more on TikTok about the efforts and the recovery. And it is really, really sad that entire towns are immersed in mud and silt and rubble. And boy, I tell you, this is going to be, it's really unbelievable, to be honest, that it isn't all over the news every single day. Some of these efforts that people are making, ordinary citizens with ATVs and helicopters and just doing whatever they can. So we just pray for the people in North Carolina that were really severely affected. All right. Today till 11, there's the job search support at Frederick County Workforce Services. I believe that is every week. So if you are looking for a job or know somebody who is, you can get some help every Tuesday at Frederick County Workforce Services. From 10 to 6 today, it's the Fall Fun Fest at Gaver Farm. That's where there's over 60 activities for you to partake in, animals for you to check out, and pumpkins to purchase. From 12:30 to 2 today, it's Frederick Reads. I think that's Sharon Ranganath. He's a PhD. He studied a lot of brain science. He will be speaking at FCC today, 12:30 to 2. Also, again, I believe at 7 p.m. tonight. High school sports throughout the county. You can check out the calendar for that. 7 to 10, it's Poorhouse Trivia at Idiom Brewing. And 7:30 to 8:30, it is the Frederick Scottish Country Dancers. They are at the Clover Hill Clubhouse in Clover Hill, the neighborhood of Clover Hill. And you can go, I believe it's just like $6 to go and have some fun for an hour. You do not have to have any experience, and you can just drop in. They would love to have you. All right, Wednesday, we've got Frederick County Animal Control free microchipping. It is only throughout October that you can get your pets microchipped for free. You have no excuse not to go unless you went this past Saturday. And I heard there was a huge crowd there. High school sports, again, continue throughout the county. 6 p.m., Old Mother Brewing. It's board game night. Thursday, Myersville Community Library has chess for kids. Chess is a great game for kids to learn. There's so much strategy, mind thinking, and math. I think that's why Cooper and Ash are really good at chess. And then at 7 p.m., the Thurmont American Legion has line dancing. Oh, how fun is that? On Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. at the Delaplane Arts Center, it is cocktails and carbs to benefit Hartley House. Tickets are $75 per person or $125 per couple. You get exquisite cocktails and mouth-watering carb-loaded appetizers while you're helping an organization like Hartley House. And then 1:30 to 3, get your tickets for Trek or Treat at Tree Trekkers. It is the first day for Trek or Treat. You get your tickets, you get a time slot at treetrekkersmd.com. That is going to be fun. On Thursday, I'm going to be out there decorating my platform area. On Saturday, 10 a.m., Baker Park Bandshell. It is Walk a Mile in Their Shoes to benefit Hartley House. Sign up at hartleyhouse.org. You do not have to pay to participate, but this is obviously a fundraiser and raising awareness for all the great things the Hartley House does. They will have at 10 a.m. at the Baker Park Bandshell a survivors talk, and or survivors will speak, and then you're going to have an awesome day and find out all that Hartley House does for our community. 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Again, Trek or Treat at Treat Trekkers. Oh, this is not the first day. This is the second day, first weekend. You can get your tickets for a time slot at treetrekkersmd.com. And from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., the William F. Moran Museum and Foundation in Middletown. It's their 9th annual All Forged Knife Show and Auction. Have you ever been to that? I mean, I have actually passed that building a bazillion times, especially the original one. There is a small building on the right side of the road as you're heading into Middletown, right near the car wash. And they have a new building and a pavilion that are there. This is a fascinating museum. And William Bill Moran, what a fascinating guy. He actually taught himself how to make knives because he was always out hunting, fishing, walking. You know, he had his family had a farm in Middletown, and really, really interesting. And the knives are really quite exquisite. I had a great time there yesterday. We're going to feature them tomorrow's show. But if you like Forged in Fire, or your husband or boyfriend, or you know somebody who watches that show, 3 of the judges from that show are going to be at the All Forged Knife Show and Auction. They're going to have knives for sale, and you're going to be able to talk to them, which is quite cool. And you can take classes there and learn how to do stuff too. And we talked to them. They want to do an all ladies class. So might have to get some of you guys interested in that. I think that's really cool. Sunday, 10 to 11:30, it's Namaste 7, Nightmare at Crash and Catharsis Rage Factory. You get yoga plus a rage room, and it equals donations for ship. $60 per person. Ton of fun there. You're with Genuine Yogi, Jennifer, and 11:30 or 12:30 at Warehouse Cinemas. It's the Frederick Brunch Club with Death Becomes Her. And at 6:30 to 8, it's Field of Screams, Maryland in Olney. You can go get yourself scared if you want. All right, these are the coming soons. October 26th, the All-In TJ 3K Color Rush. And then 2 to 5 p.m. is Canines on the Creek to benefit the FSK Lions Club. On October 29th, it is from 5:30 to 8:30, the Junior Pitch Entrepreneur Competition. And that's going to be a lot of fun with the city of Frederick. If you've got a child in FCPS, kindergarten to 12th grade, they can enter and win a potential of up to portion of $5,000 in grant money that is available. So it's like a little Shark Tank, not as high pressure for sure. And I can't wait to talk to and work with some of the kids who are taking part in that. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Then we're back with Chris Haugh, who's our local historian. We got tech tips with Ashley. We got Laura Like, who's going to talk about the gig work to get debt free, and Danielle Rizzo from the Marielle Agency. All of that is coming up just after these couple of messages.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shattered family beyond compare.
Join Hartley House on October 18th and 19th for 2 incredible events. Get your tickets for Cocktails and Carbs on Friday the 18th from 6 until 9, and plan to attend Walk a Mile in Their Shoes on the 19th at 10 a.m. in Baker Park. Your participation will help to end intimate partner violence. Details at hartleyhouse.org.
This portion of Good Morning Frederick is powered by Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, Total Car Care. Need an oil change or brakes? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can take care of that. How about exhaust or engine work? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can do that too. No matter what you need for your car, Ken's Automotive and Transmissions is Total Car Care. Go to kenstrans.com to schedule an appointment today.
All right, let's talk about People of Frederick. People of Frederick is sponsored by Antietam World Travel Service. Why trust Antietam World Travel Service to coordinate your vacation? It's simple. They're a full-service travel agency. They'll save you countless hours of online research. They also have relationships with the suppliers that are going to give you the best value and even some perks you can't get on your own. When you work with Antietam World Travel Service, you get convenience, experience, and connections. Go to AntietamTravel.com now and get started on your dream vacation, even if you're just dreaming. AntietamTravel.com. All right, Chris Haugh is Frederick's leading history guy, and he's the go-to if you're doing any research, maybe your genealogy if it's local, or if you're doing a documentary about this area. He's so interesting that this is our first two-parter. We had part one yesterday, and here is part two with Chris Haugh today. I'm in the Key Memorial Chapel at Mount Olivet Cemetery with my good friend Chris Haugh.
As you can tell, I love talking. I'm very loquacious, I get it honestly, but I love talking about Frederick history, and I love those aha moments of being able to tell people, and that is why Mater Avenue is Mater Avenue. And
but it's so cool because when you learn those details, I will never now look at this as I'll look at it differently. I will look at this chapel differently. I will look at the cemetery differently. Like, it's when you learn these little tidbits, these golden nuggets. You really then become so loyal to Frederick and understand and, kind of just have a great connection. And I like it.
And you're right. And it is. And it's an appreciation. And again, the magic of history is, once again, to see how things work. They always, people always, oh, history repeats itself, or if we, if we don't learn from history, then we're imprisoned by it. But I think the big thing is to kind of see, why is Frederick so unique? Why is Frederick so special, so different than so many other places? I mean, it's easy to say that from a marketing perspective. Anywhere you go, you're going to say that your town is the best and your town is different. But there is a reason why Frederick, and one of the interesting things I tell people, one of the most fascinating little tidbits that I bring up in the class is what a gentleman named Carol Hendrickson, long time the Hendricksons, they had a store on Market Street, multi-generations. But Carol Hendrickson, in my interview with him back in 1995, he said that one of the things that Frederick did was it kept the train out. And the B&O Railroad came here. Frederick was like the first major little town it came to from Ellicott City. And it happened, it actually reached Frederick in 1831. And really the people that had been here, a lot of German families and English families too, had kind of taken Frederick from this little village on the western frontier, 1745, and really kind of grew it. Now, we had the National Road here, and that was great. We saw settlers going west and goods coming in from the west, or goods coming in from the west going east. But when the train came through, some of the powers that be here were a little concerned about railroad interest coming into Frederick, their Frederick, and taking over. So what happened was Frederick was kind of kept out. And that's why, if you look at it, we just had a spur line that came in from Monocacy Junction, which would be important come the Civil War for multiple reasons, but we just had a spur line, and trains actually had to back into Frederick. So it really didn't do much for us in terms of industry, where we actually, because of this, you could say, planned selfishness for the leading people that were here at that point to continue being big fish in a small pond, but we watched as Hagerstown, Martinsburg, and Cumberland grew tremendously. Why? Because they embraced the railroad. Hub City with Hagerstown, of course, Cumberland and Martinsburg. But then what happened in the 20th century? Well, you had unions, and then you had mid-20th century, you had interstate trucking, which really supplanted railroads. And Martinsburg, Cumberland, Hagerstown, what has happened to them? Are they Frederick?
No.
Frederick was in this little time capsule because we never grew, and people were embarrassed because we really didn't have this boon, even in the late 1800s, to really change and rip down our old federal-style buildings and put up Victorian, modern buildings. And people were kind of embarrassed about it. And then in the 1950s, 40s, and 50s, people from Georgetown, people from Baltimore, people from all over the country were coming here going, oh my God, you've got this treasure trove, you've got this historic district like no other, maybe like Old Town Alexandria or Old Town Georgetown, and people in Frederick were like, oh, well, we're kind of embarrassed about it. And they said, don't be embarrassed about it. You've got something that a lot of places, other places tore theirs down, but you've got it. And I think, again, to have, and we've got a couple documentaries that are happening right now that will be telling the story of the latter part of the 20th century, but really this revitalization or renaissance of Frederick People that really cared and created a historic district, saved places like Schifferstadt and Rose Hill Manor, really took stock in our history, the Battle of Monocacy, and to really have that battlefield unit by the NPS, to have a Civil War medical museum, to really tell the story of Frederick's past. And, and then it's hip and historic, because the hip part, with this arts and entertainment center, the restaurants, the culinary scene, activities like in the street. So really, that is why Frederick's so special. But, I took you from, let's keep the train out of here, to why do we have this vibrant arts community?
Yeah.
There's a link there, but I think it's really, for people to really hear the story and understand it. Oh, that's why it happened here.
Yeah.
But in other places, it wasn't embraced the same way.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I ask, most people that I interview, what are the top 3 things you love about Frederick? And it is very interesting, because I've now interviewed almost 200 people. The similarities in people who just got here versus and the people that have been here 20, 30 years, it's very similar.
Yeah,
it is really, it's about the people, the community, how great downtown is, how the historic charm and all of that. It's really, really quite interesting.
I'll even go one better than you. So last fall, I taught classes on prehistory. I was able to do some documentaries back a couple decades ago on the prehistory, and that's the geology and metageography of why do we have the rivers where they are, why is the mountains, the mountains here used to be 8 times as tall. But how did that kind of form? Why do we have the rocks that we have? And then what about the native peoples that came through here? And I had an archaeologist named Hetty Ballweber who told me when I was making this documentary in the late 90s, who said the things that attract people to Frederick today were the same things that attracted people thousands of years ago. The original native peoples that came here and settled in the Monocacy Valley. And it was, of course, the salubrious streams and the fresh mountain air, but just the opportunities here with the resources and the natural beauty and opportunity. So to think that it goes back even that far to prehistoric times, that people have been coming here for those reasons.
Maybe we feel that.
Maybe we do.
Maybe it's reverberated in the.
And what's it going to be like 100 years from now? 500 years from now?
All right, so how can people sign up for your class?
So with the classes that I teach, they can go. I have a History Shark Productions Facebook page. I have a HistorySharkProductions.com website. You can see announcements of upcoming classes, and you can click links that will bring you to registration. So they are pay-for classes, but I think they're very reasonable, and I'm kind of using the structure there that I use for FCC's ILR program.
I think it's great. Well, we are so honored that you love Frederick, because otherwise we wouldn't know anything about it, I don't think.
Well, I'll also invite you to one other thing. I mean, of course, I just gave you a history lesson here, and your head's going to be shaken, I'm sure, for throughout the morning. But in late October each year, under my History Shark Productions, I have kind of a walking tour. It's kind of a class, but it's called the Unsettling Tour of Mount Olivet. And it's a candlelight tour. I've been doing tours here for years, but where I bring people through. It's not a ghost tour per se, like my friend Ron Engelberger does downtown. And Ron does some history tours at night over here at Mount Olivet as well. But I will introduce you reverently to some decedents that are resting in peace, hopefully, here in Mount Olivet, that had unfortunate ends. So it's a little bit, it will leave you unsettled, maybe sad, but what I hope empathetic for the family's loss of their loved one. But I'll be doing that in late October around Halloween, the week before, even on Halloween night and All Souls Day night. Cool. But you can look for that on that History Shark. That's called the Unsettling Tour.
Well, we'll make sure to include it on our Everything Frederick calendar. This is my friend Chris Haugh. Look him up, HistorySharkProductions.com. If you want to know anything about where you live, and I do think it does make your attachment to our town a little deeper, you can find out from him. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much,
it.
Danny.
Ah, yes. All right. You can go to the YouTube channel to watch part 1, and 2 will be posted today. He's fascinating and so easy to listen to, which is why my typical 10 to 12 minutes that I spend with people was 28 minutes with him. And I even cut that down to get it into 2 slots. He's just really got knowledge just right here. It's just really amazing. I do recommend 100% to go to one of his history lessons. All right, it's time for your weekly tech tip with Ashley from 34 Blast. He's talking about refurbished equipment today.
Hi everyone, welcome to another week of Tech Tips with Ashley from 34 Blast. I hope you're enjoying this series. I enjoy doing this series, and if you're getting something out of it, that's all that matters to me. Today we're going to talk about buying refurbished electronics. With prices of new gadgets constantly rising, refurbished items can be a great way to save money while still getting quality products. But it's essential to know what to look for to ensure you're making a smart purchase. Let's dive into some of the helpful tips I have. First, let's clarify what refurbished actually means. When a product is refurbished, it usually means it is returned to the manufacturer or retailer for some reason. Maybe it had a small defect, maybe it was an open box item, or it was simply returned unused. The item is then inspected, repaired if necessary, and tested to ensure it works properly before being sold again. So refurbished doesn't mean it's broken, it often means being restored to like new condition. It's a key point to remember when you're looking at refurbished stuff. Second point, buy from a reputable source. When I say buy from a reputable source, buy from well-known or authorized resellers. Big names like Amazon, Best Buy, Apple often have clear refurbishing processes and offer warranties. Avoid buying from unknown websites or resellers with zero history or very little history. While you might find a great deal and save some bucks, it could end up costing you in the long run because they're not going to stand by what they've sold. They will sell it, get rid of it, and then you're stuck with the product and then you've just wasted money. Next is, as I mentioned just before, when you buy a refurbished piece of equipment, look for a warranty. The warranty should be at least 3 months. It can range, from three months to a year. But it gives you peace of mind that if something does go wrong, you can always ship it back to them and they will repair. They won't replace, but they will repair the item and get it working again. Can save you a lot of bucks too. Once again, when I'm talking about refurbished resellers, check the ratings and check the warranties. Read the reviews. Make sure that there hasn't been a whole spate of people in there just giving them 1 stars and just saying it's crap. And you don't want to be one of those persons that actually get stuck with it as well. No, it's crap. As soon as it arrives, inspect the item. Is it exactly what you ordered? Is it the same model? Is it the same piece of equipment that you purchased online is the one that you're actually receiving? So if you wanted an iPad Generation 3 and they sent you an iPad Generation 2, there's going to be a problem there. Because obviously that is another way that some of these less reputable places get you, is that they send you the previous year's model. Know what the return policy is. Once again, this falls into the reputable reseller portion. If they have an issue and you're not sure about it, is there a 30-day return policy? Is there a 2-week return policy? Find out how long that is. The longer, the better. And then it's always good to just compare prices. Don't always say, I'm only going to get it from Apple, or I'm only going to get it from Best Buy or Amazon or whatever the case may be. Search around. There's plenty of places out there that do sell refurbished gear. And there's a number that, even though I didn't mention their names, I've used before for some of my clients. And I've had a good experience. There were a couple that memory chips didn't work. But I worked with that reseller and it was resolved very quickly. but I do a little bit of shopping around. The internet is great for that. You can sit at your desk, you can sit in front of the couch, in front of the TV on the couch, and do your research and get a really good deal. Now, if you're really interested in it, ask about the refurbish process. What do they do? How do they do it? How deep do they go in? Do they just replace the hard drive on, let's say, a computer, or do they just rebuild the operating system on the computer? It's kind of important. Most people don't really care. For me, obviously, I'm in the game, so I do care. And I want to know what type of hard drive, what type of memory they're using, because it makes a difference. So to wrap things up, buying refurbished electronics can be a smart way to save money, but it's essential to do your homework. Remember to understand what refurbish means, and only buy from reputable sources. Check the warranty, read the reviews, inspect the product as soon as you get it, and know what the return policy is, and do some price shopping. If you follow all those rules, you'll end up with a piece of equipment that will last you a while and give you a good result. So until next time, I'm Ashley, and this has been Tech Tips.
Ah, yes. Thank you to Ash for that one. All right, we're going to take one more quick break. Then we're back with Laura Like to talk about gig work to get debt-free, and Danielle Rizzo from the Marielle Agency.
Cosmec Healing handcrafted small batch tinctures and transdermal salves, double third-party tested for quality you can trust. If you've got pain, headaches, or anxiety, our products are here to help you find relief. Patient over profits mindset, 'cause we're patients too. CosmecHealing.com.
Join Hartley House on October 18th and 19th for 2 incredible events. Get your tickets for Cocktails and Carbs on Friday the 18th from 6 until 9, and plan to attend Walk a Mile in Their Shoes on the 19th at 10 a.m. in Baker Park. Your participation will help to end intimate partner violence. Details at hartleyhouse.org.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come sling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art's splatter room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
All right, A&S Construction, a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and they're right here in Frederick. A&S Construction specialize in roofing and siding, but they can also do your windows and gutters and patios and decks. And let me just tell you, with this cold weather coming, boy, you know, if your windows are not doing you any service right now, this is the time to get them done before the really, really cold weather comes. Call 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. You can get $750 off any roof or siding replacement, or $50 off any roof repairs when you tell A&S Construction that you saw them on Good Morning Frederick. There's the number, 301-703-2157. The email address, info@ansconstruction.net. And of course, you can visit them online as well, ansconstruction.net. All right, let's talk about somebody who's making our market pretty good. All right, Laura Like has managed a side hustle to get out of debt, and she and others want to teach the next generation how to do the same. Here's Laura Like. 401 North Market Street in downtown Frederick. I'm with Laura. We are LinkedIn buddies.
We are.
And we got connected there, and I reached out and said, hey, why don't you come on my show? And at first you're like, oh, I don't know. And I said, it'll be great. It'll be great. Trust me.
You talked me into it.
I did. Go back a little bit, because you just shared with me something that I think is pretty incredible, that you were in e-commerce in 99.
Yes.
Which is really way before e-commerce was even a thing. I don't even think we called it e-commerce, most of us normally. So that's a pretty big journey.
That's when Amazon was still selling books.
Yes.
And looking for warehouses.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
If anyone remembers that.
Yeah. Blockbuster might have still been alive.
Yep.
So tell me about kind of your journey with e-commerce and the things that you were able to grasp from that.
Well, in '99, about 10% of households had computers. So a lot of what we did then was to let people know how to buy online. A lot of it was instruction. For some of my customers, I had to teach them how to turn on their computer.
Yeah,
okay?
I don't doubt it.
The great thing about it is I could work with my kids.
Yeah.
Because they were very excited about computers. They were already programming, when they were in their teens.
Yes.
And so it was something that we could do together, which was great.
That's awesome. Yeah. What were you able to kind of garner from that kind of educational process and the, entry of computers into every home?
We found out that you don't just set up a website and expect people to come.
Right.
What you learn is that all business is relational. And if people don't like you and know you and trust you, they aren't going to do business with you.
True. Very true.
We learned that it's still all about relationship. It's still all about personal relationships. So just setting up a website wasn't going to do it.
No. What do you do exactly? Do you help people kind of bridge this gap, or are you just still making, you're living off of the e-commerce side of the business?
Well, I make my living off of the e-commerce site. And I'm also, my e-commerce site really is set up to be a side gig. Used to be called side hustles. And when I was growing up, the hustle was a dance.
Yeah.
So it,
it was.
so it has changed a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
But this next generation, especially Generation Z and the millennials too, are really interested in setting up their own businesses, doing things differently from their parents. They don't want to be working for companies all their lives. They want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
So what a group of boomers and I are volunteering some of our time to help this next generation, and I'm going to be 70 this month, so everybody's the next generation for me.
Holy goodness gracious, no way.
And I keep telling my grandkids, but I'm still cool.
You are. I'm going to say you're still cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're helping the next generation to get debt-free, really is the main thing.
Yeah.
But to help them set up this side gig and get going with it, with support and with mentorship. And just help them make an extra, $500 a month. Right. That makes a big dent in school loans or car payments or, all the ways. I find that a lot of people are not financially literate. Yeah. They don't really know how to set up a budget that's going to work for them. Right. Yeah. And be able to, all of these economists say, well, you need to save your money for retirement. Well, they don't have any money to save. No. Everything is spent, especially if you live in this area. Yes, exactly. So just getting a little bit extra, spending that time maybe from 8 to 10 in the evening, that extra time when you'd be sitting in front of Netflix or something like that anyway. Yeah. And use it to build an asset, to build something that's going to have the money keep coming in. Yeah. And so how do you guys mentor? What does that look like? We have a free micro course. Okay. That we work with a group of young people, the next generation business owners, and they're called the Young Entrepreneurs Studio. And we work with them, and they have come up with a really great introduction into the gig economy. So they teach that as a micro course, or you could call it a business overview, and just it helps people get in the mindset of business ownership, because if you've been an employee all your life, you don't have that mindset. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that we teach, really, is how to adjust. It is just a shift in thinking, though. It really is. It's not that hard. Yeah. You just have to know how to think differently. Sure. You don't necessarily get a paycheck every 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It is a different perspective. You have to just shift that mindset a little bit. And so, how often is this course offered?
We're offering right now about every 2 weeks in the fall.
Okay.
So I don't know if it'll be offered beyond the first of the year.
Okay.
So we're they're leading it and teaching it, and it's a 2-part course.
Okay.
And it's free. It's about 50 minutes, like we said. It's micro.
Yeah.
But it just helps people to relate to young people in business, realize that there is a supportive community out there.
Yeah.
There are people that are willing to help, and that there are ways to be successful. We define gig or gig economy as a part-time position that leads to some kind of ownership.
Yeah.
Everybody has an asset.
Yes.
You have your phone, you have social media, you
Yeah.
have all your connections, you have a network.
Yeah.
All those things can be used to build business.
Yeah. How can people get in touch with you if they want to know more?
I have a profile in LinkedIn. That's probably the best way to get in touch with me. And they can also email me.
If there was one thing you wanted people to know, what would you want them to take away from this opportunity?
I would want them to take away that there are still lots of opportunities in the U.S. to make extra money and to build assets.
Do you have 2 or 3 maybe tips for somebody who is thinking about, hey, this could be really cool for me?
It's all about your inner motivation. Figure out how you want to live.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what's going to get you there.
Yeah.
Don't be so concerned about the process. Look at the outcome.
Right.
How do you want to live?
Yeah.
What's your bucket list? What do you want to do with this life? What's your purpose in life?
Yeah.
Do you have a mission? Do you have an impact that you want to make?
Yeah.
And then think about those things.
Yeah.
A lot of it is, do you want to drive a safe car when you get married with kids? Where do you want to live?
Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've been able to check off some of those things in your
I
life?
have.
Yeah.
One of my goals, of course, was to live debt-free. So
Okay.
that's one thing we've checked off, definitely.
Very nice.
So that's been nice.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference in life when you don't have debt over you.
Yes. For sure. So this gig, side hustle,
Yes.
whatever you want to call it, that's checked off a big thing for you.
It has.
Yeah, and can
Yeah.
for somebody else too.
Yeah, it can.
Awesome. Well, we're going to make sure her LinkedIn profile is on screen so you can find her. Laura on LinkedIn. Reach out. You can reach out through me too if you have to have that third party. I don't know how LinkedIn works sometimes anymore, but or Laura E. at gmail.com is her email address. Email her. Get her advice. She's got a list of books that could be good resources for people who want to kind of change that mindset, shift that perception a little bit. It really does, and a lot of people I talk with say, oh, I don't have the time. It is all about prioritizing what you want in life. You will make the time, you'll find the time. And then once you start seeing the success, you realize you're going to want to spend even more time doing it. So yeah, that's what I've found anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. We want to thank her so much for taking the time out.
Well, thank you for talking me into it.
Yes. No, see, it was easy, wasn't it?
It was fun,
It was easy.
yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Ah, yes. I think it's amazing that she's 70 years old. She looks amazing. All right. Danielle Rizzo is here to help C-level executives and business owners how to prioritize a growth mindset. Here is Danielle. 1 North Market Street. I am with Danielle Rizzo. I'm sure you actually are familiar with some of the people she's worked with.
Yes.
But we're here to talk about your agency, Marielle Agency.
Yes.
And how you can actually help people high up in the chain, your vice presidents, and
small businesses,
owners,
entrepreneurs, anyone who really doesn't have someone to be accountable to.
Yeah.
We are a business advising, business consulting, while also enhancing your personal life agency of giving you your time back, but making you more efficient.
Yeah, wow.
Because
I might need that.
As you're an entrepreneur, you can put something on your calendar or put it on your to-do list, but if you don't really want to do it,
who's there?
Who's there to tell you that?
Who's there to tell you that?
90% of the time, it's the things that you don't want to do that are going to make the biggest impact in your career or your business, and we're there to make sure that you get that done.
Yeah, so how does that work? Like if I were to come to you and say, oh my gosh, I need some help. I want to, try to get this thing going.
Sure. So if you already have a business and we could do it for your business, right? And so we would kind of do a deep dive into what is your pain point. Like if you keep doing the same thing you're doing, you're going to keep getting the same results. So we got to change what you're doing. So where is it that you're stuck on this hamster wheel? Is it your time? Is it your marketing? Is it your outreach? What is it that you feel like is holding you back? And then how can we break through that? And so a lot of it has to do with your own limiting beliefs and this, imposter syndrome, things like that. I just did a deep dive session with this big time lawyer, and he oversees 140 partners.
Whoa.
And so we did a deep dive for his quarterly review, and at the end of it, he just said to me, he was like, it's just talking it through. He's like, I don't have someone to talk it through. It's all in my brain, or I'm so focused on what I'm doing for my clients that I'm not actually working on my own business and my own leads and my own customers and my own marketing. And that's the stuff that usually gets pushed aside. And so by the end of it, he was just like, he realized that it was just, he was so focused on what he was saying and how he was saying it. I was like, just say like you said it to me. It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
It's just staying in front of people and kind of it's getting out of your own way.
Yes. I mean, that's phenomenal. And it would be like a therapy session because when you're a solopreneur especially, you don't have people to bounce those ideas off of, or, hey, I wonder what would happen if we did this, or things like that.
Exactly. And a lot of it is really just listening, and that is a big part of my job is listening. We do big whiteboard sessions. We really do an audit of what you're doing, where you're stuck, what hasn't been working. And I always like to say that with business and with being a business owner or being a busy professional, and if you're a team leader especially, you have to learn people's love languages. And I don't mean the typical sense of it, but in business there are love languages. So if your love language is you're driven by finance and money and you want to hit a certain goal, but that doesn't work for your clients or for your teammates because maybe they're driven by having more quality of life time in their personal time or their brand, you have to figure out how to get to the same goal, but speak their language.
Right.
And that's where we come in because we're not in the nitty gritty of the day to day. We're that 1,000-foot view outside party. So we don't have a personal connection to it.
Yeah.
So we can see off the bat where the disconnect is. And you guys are essentially speaking different languages, but you're trying to get to the same goal.
It is true. It's true to understand everyone's value.
Yes.
What everyone values, because you're right. It is totally different. And it's really important in sales structure too, because some people are motivated by getting that bonus or by hitting that goal, and you're right, other people would rather have that day off or things like that.
Yes, sometimes it's really not about the money for people. It's about, how can I balance my time better?
Getting gratitude or being recognized or getting that name changed with your job title or things like that. Yeah. So Marielle Agency, you've developed a workbook.
I have.
Yeah.
It's so aesthetically pleasing too.
Great. It is. It's very nice.
Not very big.
Very nice.
It's very pretty. I'm very proud of it. So this is a workbook where it really is your first step of accountability. So maybe you're not ready to hire that coach. Maybe you're not ready to have an advisor come in and tell you what to do, because that's why you started your own business. You didn't want anyone to tell you what to do. But again, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get the same results. So this is a way to really kind of get out of your brain, and it really prompts you through the questions of, if we could wave that magic wand and you could have the perfect business or you could have the perfect day of managing your time, what would that look like? Not how are we going to get there, just what would that look like? And so this kind of walks you through that. And it also walks you through, again, what we just talked about. What have you been doing? Where do you want to go? What does it look like to get there for you? So this is kind of the self-prompted way of everything we just talked about. And then normally after people who do this, they're like, oh, okay, now I need help because now I see the clear picture of what I want to do, and I see the clear picture, and I was able to get there myself of what isn't working, but I can't see the forest through the trees kind of thing.
To try to get those steps in.
Now I need actionable items to get what's in here.
Yeah.
So this is really, take it at your own pace. Sometimes people are at that point where they're ready to jump in and they need change, and that's where we come in. And sometimes people are like, I think I need change, but I don't know what that change is. Or I think I have this great idea, but I don't know how to take it from idea to implementation to a business. This walks you through.
Okay.
So it's really for all the different levels.
Awesome. Yeah. How do they get this?
This, you can go to my website, marielleagency.com. It's also on Amazon. You can download it as a PDF download, and then I just sent it to Staples and made it pretty. I think people have punched holes in it and made it into a binder.
Yeah.
You know, you can do it as a fillable PDF, I believe. So really, whatever works for you. I'm an old-fashioned pen and paper kind of person. I still write sticky notes. So
I know, I'm a sticky note person too. So how long has Marielle Agency been around?
So we have rebranded to Marielle Agency for the last 2 years now, once we shifted directions into our offerings and getting really clear on our messaging. But we have been doing what we've been doing for about 6 or 7 years now. So it was just a lot of my name floating around there, and so we needed to create something cohesive.
And where did the Marielle come from?
It's really not a great story.
Oh.
But I wanted something that looked aesthetically pleasing,
It does,
which I do love the intertwining of the letters.
Yeah.
So my name is Danielle Marie, so it's a combination of Marie and Danielle for Marielle.
I'm a Danielle Marie.
I didn't know that.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
It was a very common name. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Okay, so Marielle, is it marielleagency.com?
marielleagency.com, yes.
marielleagency.com. Download the workbook, get started, but if you need help and you need someone to tell you what to do, she's very good at that. She will take care of you.
Someone described me yesterday as an efficient ball buster. And I was like, I'll take it. I'll take it. Because if I'm getting, and I've been, made to be the bad guy, and also
blame Danielle.
You don't do, it's okay. I'm good at it. That's why I have 4 children. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, for sure. Now, you are working on some projects around here that are pretty well known in town.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, that's the point. Boomtown is one we've talked a lot about.
Yes.
Boomtown.
Yes.
What is happening right now with the movie?
Boomtown is getting ready to showcase to their major sponsors a 20-minute clip of what the movie is, what it's been working on. We're hoping to release it by the end of the year for part 1, and then what most people don't know is we have a whole part 2 coming.
Yeah.
So part 2 is going to be in present day, which is going to be really cool, and bring in a whole new crowd of people. We'll need whole new businesses, people to be a part of it, to talk about what's happening in Frederick current day. So it'll be really exciting.
Yes.
Really exciting.
Very exciting. I know you guys have worked hard on that. So keep an eye out for that Boomtown coming soon. But in the meantime, Marielle Agency here to help you and your small business, or you and your career, get to that next level. You might need a little hand holding, and she'll help you out here.
A little nudge.
All right. We'll see you next time. All right. Want to thank Danielle for that. Okay, coming up tomorrow, Bob and Chris from WFMD. I've got Keisha from H&H Travel, Jordan from Falling Squares, and we'll have Robert Wilson from the William F. Moran Museum. The Forged in Fire judges are going to be at their show on Saturday. So if you like that sort of thing, and I'm telling you, even if you don't think you like these gorgeous knives, I think you'll like it. All right. Tell a friend about Good Morning Frederick. Help us get to 1,500 subscribers. Have an amazing day. Let's get out there and let's be great, Frederick.
From downtown streets to